It's up with me now. Here we go. Jon Mozes, the Altoona Curve. Our visit is presented by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row. Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. How does Altoona deal with all of this? He has to do all that dancing out in center field, and it's 90 degrees outside. That can't be good.
Ice buckets. Ice buckets are everywhere on days like yesterday. Yeah. In the clubhouse, in the mascot rooms. A lot of water, a lot of Gatorade, and, you feel pretty good when somebody dumps a bucket of water on your head on a day like yesterday.
I'm guessing that giant fishbowl that's behind the wall in center field is, a little extra ice in that would keep Al really cool and ready to come out and do his dance.
Oh, yeah. He's always fired up to get out there once the team scores a couple runs.
Yeah, well, they did last night. That was a pretty nice performance by the Curve last night, huh?
Yeah, it was a little overdue. Altoona's really struggled to hit here in the second half of the season, and you could just tell that the team was putting together good at bats early in the game yesterday. And look, you score 5 runs over your first 3 innings, you give yourself a pretty good chance to win a ball game.
Yeah, you sure do. And then you get some veteran leadership too. I'm sure that Johan Oviedo being around the ball club has really helped that pitching staff for this last week or so.
It's interesting because after you're so right about that. After he pitched last night, he visited with a couple members of the local media here, and he was asked that question. He went back to Pittsburgh to throw in the bullpen on Monday and sort of hang out there and be around those guys. But he's really been in Altoona pretty much every day of this homestand. Since Friday night when we got back from the All-Star break, and he's got a locker right next to Omar Alfonso. Those guys are chit-chatting all day long. And, Johan was talking about it, how, he has sort of valued being that veteran because, it wasn't that long ago that he was a minor leaguer grinding his way through. And, the quote that stuck with me last night was Oviedo saying that he remembers how difficult it could be at times to perform in the minor leagues, between the day-to-day grinds of having to do it every day. You're on long bus rides. Sometimes you're in ballparks where there aren't a lot of people at the games, and you sort of have to find a way to get better, and you have to find a way to perform no matter what is happening around you. So it was a good reminder to him that this is what it takes to get back there, and he looked strong again last night. Yeah, it was a pretty good performance.
I'm sure, and he points it out, that the parallels between struggling to find your way in Class A and Double-A ball, Altoona, of course, is Double-A, and the major leagues, while they are different challenges, they are challenges nonetheless, especially when you consider the stage of development at which every player is as they try to make their way through a season. So you deal with whatever the challenge is in front of you. It's good when you're able to bring in a guy like that and to be around those guys and give them the opportunity to see, well, yeah, everybody struggles. Everybody has, the difficulties of recovering from Tommy John surgery as he is, a delay in your progress through that recovery. It's good for them to see.
Yeah, and, I think that there is so much value to having a couple of veteran guys around the clubhouse. The last couple of years, the Curve have had guys like that. You remember 2023, we had Drew Maggi, Josh Palacios, Juan Minaya, Domingo Leyba. This year, veteran guys like Bo Burrows and Wilkin Ramos, and now Oviedo has been around for a little while. It's sort of untold the amount of knowledge that those guys have, and them sharing little pointers here and there makes such a big difference, because you never know what little nugget you can pick up from somebody else in the organization that can help you on your development path.
Has Bo Burrows, you mentioned him, has he established himself again as a prospect?
I think that's a fair point. He's been outstanding. I am so impressed with him. In addition to what he has done on the mound, I mean, he has found his fastball velocity again. He's working 95 miles an hour. He's got good command of his curveball. He'll use his cutter. He's been really, really good. I am a little surprised that he's still with Altoona with the way he's pitched. I think that probably has to do with, maybe not having an open spot on that AAA roster. That may change in the next 2-3 weeks here once we get through the trade deadline. I sort of expect, like many others, that the Pirates may trade away a couple of guys from the major league roster and acquire prospects in return. And some of the names that are out there are relievers like David Bednar and Dennis Santana and Caleb Ferguson. If those guys end up going in trades, I would expect the Pirates to backfill from AAA, and then guys like Bo Burrows and Wilkin Ramos and Justin Mice are probably at the top of the list to push to AAA, given how they've performed this year. But he's just been so valuable to this team. The Curve almost have 3 closers right now between Ramos, Burrows, and Justin Mice. You feel really good about this team when they have a lead late in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure a guy like Isaac Mattson up in Pittsburgh is an inspiration to fellas who are pitching for Altoona right now, because the step through the minor league system has been great. It's been a great ride for him.
Oh yeah, he is honestly the model that a guy like Bo Burrows or Wilkin Ramos is looking at and saying, that's my path to the big leagues, and which is to perform well at AA, perform well again at AAA, and then when they call my name, I'm ready to go to take advantage of the opportunity. I think that's really good. That the Pirates have really found something with Isaac Mattson. That's been a nice find for them.
Yeah, absolutely has. All right, so what's in store for the Curve this weekend? You continue the series with the Bay Sox.
Yeah, we've got post-game fireworks on Saturday night. It's our Star Wars night. We're going to have all kinds of performers. We've got a dedicated, very cool light show that'll go on during the fireworks show on Saturday night. It's a 6:30 first pitch. We got to push it back a little bit for all the for the sunshine to finally go down before we shoot off those fireworks. Tonight is our racing night at the ballpark. We'll have a few sort of racers in the ballpark. Everything will be NASCAR themed, and then Sunday is Loco's birthday. Nothing like celebrating our favorite mascot. There'll be a lot of his other mascot friends around on Sunday afternoon. So it should be a nice way to wrap up the weekend. Hopefully the Curve can pick up a couple more wins and finish this homestand off on a high note. There
you go. Now, for Star Wars night, are any of the bats actual lightsabers that could actually do harm to the baseball?
I'll have to check, but I don't believe we have any lightsabers in the ballpark other than the one that's arriving to my attention tomorrow morning.
All right, terrific. I have no idea what that means, but I suspect that I don't want to know what exactly that means. So as this season has gone on, and you mentioned it a couple of moments ago, this is the time with about a month left in the season for the Curve. It's hard to believe that it's going by that quickly. But with about a month left in the season, there generally at this time of the year is a massive roster change for the Pirates. Young guys coming up, guys leaving the team and moving on to whatever is the next stage in their development as Pirates prospects. But Curve fans going to see a lot of new guys coming up. You're looking down at Greensboro. You're not going to probably get your hands on Connor Griffin, but I bet you'd like to, huh?
I mean, listen, I am preparing as if he will come to Curve PA at some point this year.
Oh, yeah?
When a guy has performed that way, for myself, I am mentally preparing to see Connor Griffin in Altoona this year. I don't know what the team's plans are, but he's playing a lot of shortstop there. He was just named the #1 prospect in baseball according to MLB Pipeline. He's made some real meaningful adjustments from what we understand, and has unlocked quite a bit of batting average and great power. So, we're keeping an eye on those guys down in Greensboro. They've had a great year again. Former Curve instructor Blake Butler managing that club. He's done a great job down there, keeping those guys on a winning attitude every day. So we'll see. I think probably, maybe when we get back from Portland next week, there could be a few new faces around the clubhouse based on how the trade deadline goes. But we shall see. A lot to be determined in the next 10 to 14 days.
Now, you've already gotten a number of guys up from Greensboro to Altoona. They bring some fresh oxygen with them, didn't they?
No doubt. Omar Alfonso and Esmeralyn Valdez, even though they don't have, high batting averages in their first 10 or 15 games with the Curve, they keep giving the team good at-bats. And, Preston and I were talking about this on the broadcast last night. When the Curve scored a run in the second inning, you could just see guys putting together what you might refer to as a team at-bat, where you work a deep count, force that pitcher to show you multiple pitches, so that the guys in the dugout and in the on-deck circle can get ready and have a good feel for what he has that night. So, Alfonso and Valdez have both been really valuable. Deuce Gorson has given the team a little bit of a boost as well. He's popped up to the leadoff spot for a couple days now. And Deuce has had a couple of nice games as well. So it's been nice to get some of those position players up here to try to round out and help this offense perform.
Yeah, and you've gotten some pretty nice arms that have come up too.
Oh, goodness. Antoine Kelly. Wow, he's pitching tonight. He's a guy that is really impressive. His fastball velocity year over year has gone from an average of 91 miles an hour to 94 miles an hour to 97 this season. He's got a very good changeup. The slider is outstanding as well. I have been so impressed with him this year. He's top 10 in the minors in WHIP, which is walks plus hits divided by innings pitched among qualified pitchers. He just doesn't walk guys. And, he's been really impressive. He's on the mound today, and then it's Wilbur Dotel tomorrow, and then back to Poyu Chen Sunday to wrap up the series here. So Curve have a couple of arms that you feel good about giving themselves a chance to win this weekend.
Yeah, so big weekend in Curve, PA. Jon Mozes, thanks so much for another visit on a Friday morning.
Thank you, my friend. Talk to you soon.
There's Jon Mozes, the Altoona Curve. They're home this weekend playing the Bay Sox, and as you heard, they've got some pretty cool promotions happening this weekend.